RedHawks ran around, through, and over the Bowling Green Falcons on Saturday en route to their first win. This Saturday, it's back at home for family weekend against Western Michigan. And Chuck Martin is here to talk about both games next on RedHawk Football Weekly. This is RedHawk Football Weekly. Brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. Steve Baker talks with Miami head football coach Chuck Martin after this on RedHawk Football Weekly.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.
Pizza with Pepsi. Delicious.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome into RedHawk Football Weekly. I'm Steve Baker, the voice of the RedHawks. Miami coming off a big win on the road. Their first win of the season against Bowling Green, 38-23 was the final at Doydell Perry Stadium, and they'll be at home this Saturday as they'll take on the Western Michigan Broncos family weekend match at Yeager Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Joining me, head coach Chuck Martin. And Coach, feels a lot better after a win, and your team, top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams, all played great football.
Yeah, it's a very complete football game. Tough week. You're 0-3. You got 8 starters out or 7 starters out, and we lose another starter 3 plays in. Got some key backups out, guys that are big-time players. So you couple that with being 0-3, got a lot of reasons to have your dauber down and be frustrated and start to have doubts. Our kids and coaches did a really good job. We came ready to play. We pretty much played a flawless football game. Offensively, we ran the ball very effectively. We threw the ball efficiently. We did not turn the ball over. We created chunk plays. Defensively, we held a very, very potent offense to next to nothing for 3+ quarters, and then we were extremely solid in the kicking game.
You know, the rushing game, and we'll see more of that when we get to the highlights here, but you knew Bowling Green was giving up a lot of yardage, and you really exploited that. Everybody that touched the ball for you running the football did a great job.
Yeah, and everybody, we had a great first half, really great first 3 quarters rushing the football. Obviously, Zoe had a great day. They gave us some different looks. They're still trying to shore up their rush defense, so they played some double eagle, which we hadn't even seen, and we adjusted quickly to that. They ran a lot of corner blitzes, more than we had seen. We adjusted quickly to that. We blocked them up, got Zoe on the perimeter. Once we knew Zoe or any of our backs got to their secondary, we felt like we could make some guys miss and get some chunk runs, and we pretty much did that consistently throughout.
Well, let's see some of that rushing and the other highlights for today, and we'll begin with Mo Thomas right off the get-go.
Yeah, Mo had a big day, had a great first half. Here's a little jet sweep to Mo, and he turns the corner and gets us a quick first down.
Here is Alonzo Smith, his first carry of the day, straight up the middle.
And obviously gaping hole up front, and then Zoe doing a great job turning a short run into a long run. And like we talked about, get him to the secondary and let him go to work on their DBs.
And then you go right back to Mo Thomas on a 2nd and 3, and he turns on the Jets around the corner.
Yeah, really well-designed play. Got Mo the corner, and if you get Mo the corner, no one's going to catch him. And huge play in the game. It got us our first lead of the year. It got our offense going, got our offense feeling good about themselves. And Maurice continues to be a bigger and bigger factor on offense and special teams for us.
Yeah, you'll get one more look at it here as he, the low angle, as he beats the corner around the end and gets the touchdown. Then your defense goes to work on a turnover.
Yeah, obviously anytime you can get turnovers, create short fields for your offense. They try to reverse here. They don't handle the pitch very well. We got a bunch of guys coming. Junior's hitting the back as he pitches. Then Junior McMullen gets on the fumble. Junior has done a great job playing through injuries. A lot of people wouldn't have played the last couple weeks, and he's not only played but probably had one of his best football games ever on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about that middle. They did a great job. You get the ball back, and Gus Ragland starts to run the ball.
Yeah, very good. Obviously, we've hit him with Mo a couple times. Now Gus hits him up the middle, gets the ball down inside the 15-yard. Gus shows his strength here, breaks a tackle on the DN right there, bounces off, breaks another arm tackle, and falls forward for a nice gain.
This sets up Sam Sloman, who's been rock solid in this football game all throughout. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. He knocks it through for the 30-yard attempt, makes it a 10-3 lead for Miami. And then you move on about midway through the second quarter, and again, Gus Ragland for 17 this time.
Yeah, and again, huge hole up the middle. Anytime you rush for as much yards, obviously doing a great job. Up front and tight ends doing a great job. Andrew Homer stepped in. Becker fought through some pain and played a little bit for us, but Andrew Homer did a tremendous job, and then Gus takes advantage of the gaping hole.
And you don't pass it often in this game, but when you do, it's very effective. Jack Sorensen, his first catch.
Yeah, critical third down completion here. Got a nice little rub route out of a bunch set. Gus reads it, finds Jack. Jack continues to make plays for us week in, week out.
Here's Zoe once again, and he just breaks tackle after tackle.
Yeah, great run, great vision, bouncing off guys. Guys are trying to strip him. I was hoping he could get in the end zone, not only for us, but for him. A great run for him.
Also, I wanted to show this portion of the highlight. You see your offensive line getting out there. Brandon Harris has him in his sights, and then Sam McCullum comes over and gets the block, and then Gus Ragland takes it in for the score.
Yeah, again, mixing up the formations, mixing up the looks. We get an easy score. Really nice bounce back drive. They put together a nice drive to cut it to 10-3, kind of got some momentum back. Our offense answers right back, extends it to 17-3.
As you see there, 17-3, and the defense, again, putting pressure on the quarterback all day long. They didn't get the sack here, but they forced the quarterback into a mistake.
Yeah, tough guy to sack because he just, when under pressure, he just kind of throws the ball. Very as good as a sack. We got an intentional grounding, creates a short field. Another key third down here. This is the one I talked about in the press conference. Andrew Homer on a 3rd and 8. Great route by Homer, great throw by Gus, great protection up front. Didn't throw it a lot like you said, but key efficiency and some key third down throws that kept drives alive.
Again, Jack Sorensen on this one for 24 yards.
Yeah, nice play action, hit Jack on a bang post, nice throw and catch. Taking advantage of the running game working. Obviously, the play action game always works better when the run game's working. Really nice strike by Gus. Good throw and catch.
You get it after a penalty, gives you a first down on the goal line, and then you see Andrew Homer again getting the score, taking it on the pass from Gus Ragland.
Yeah, and again, using Mo Thomas. Everybody's worried about Mo as a decoy, and then you got some misdirection, and Andrew coming back cost the grain wide open, and Gus hits him, and now you're up 24-3. Key response, they cut it to 10-3. We drive down and score. We get a quick stop, and we drive down and score again. What looked like they had some momentum, we take a 10-3 lead and extend a 24-3 lead, and you feel pretty good at halftime.
Absolutely, and again, the rushing game's working. The defense is playing spectacularly. We'll talk about the defense a little bit, but I did want to talk about Sam Sloman. Kicked the field goal through, but he was in the end zone almost all the time on his kickoffs.
Yeah, we kicked off 7 times, and they only returned 1, which obviously is a huge weapon to have. And he was tremendous last year, and he's even been better this year. And then he's been doing a great job with the extra point field goals too. So tremendously solid day between him and Kramer. They didn't have any returns basically the whole day. Kramer kicked the ball into the wind fantastically with great length, great hang time, made our coverage very easy. So huge day, very solid football. We always talk about playing good football, and we played really good football in all 3 phases.
Head coach Chuck Martin here as we recap the win over Bowling Green. It was a 38-23 final at Doyle Perry Stadium. This Saturday, the RedHawks are at home, a 3:30 kick against the Broncos of Western Michigan. We'll preview that game a little bit later on as well. We are coming back. We'll talk about the second half of this game between Miami and Bowling Green when we return here on RedHawk Football Weekly.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia,
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have 2 different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it. But we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! In your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up.
Came through dripping, came through dripping. Diamonds on my wrist, they dripping. Ice. Came through dripping, came through dripping.
Mountain Dew Ice, a clear, refreshing lemon lime dew.
This segment of RedHawk Football Weekly is brought to you by Courtyard Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University. Welcome back into RedHawk Football Weekly. Steve Baker here, along with head coach Chuck Martin, talking about the win over Bowling Green on Saturday, 38-23. And, much is made about getting that first taste of victory. And this was a big victory for this team, especially when you're opening up Mid-American Conference play on the road.
Yeah, obviously, you got 8 conference games. They're all vitally important. They're all tough to win. There's upsets all the time in our league. There's weeks that it makes no sense who beat who. A lot of it has to do with being on the road. It's very difficult to win on the road in any league, but when you have a balanced league like this, so you got 4 road games. We're 1-0 on the road already, which is always huge, and you got a little momentum heading into week 2 in the conference play.
I know this is probably how you want to play all the time, but I thought the pace of play for your offensive unit in that ball game was just outstanding. You really, not only did you run the ball well, but you really wore down Bowling Green's defense with that pace.
Yeah, no, and again, everybody likes to push the pace on offense nowadays, but you got to get first downs. It's like everybody wants to run in basketball, but if you don't get stops and rebounds, it's hard to run in basketball. So you get stops and rebounds, you can push the pace, and that's the correlation of football is the first down. You get that first down, you can start to go a little quicker. You get that second first down, then like you alluded to, the defense is now tired, the D-line is really tired, and now it's even easier to run the ball. It's easier to pass block. It's easier to get open. So we moved the ball effectively throughout the game. And then when we did, we obviously pushed the pace enough, and there were some tired troops on the field at times for Bowling Green, and as drives wore on, it got kind of easier and easier, and that's pretty standard in college football nowadays.
Yeah, we talked about the running backs and how well they played, but also the offensive line doing their job up front, and even when the guys weren't running, I mean, the offensive blocking I thought was incredible. Really gave Gus time to throw if he wanted to throw, and then there was almost always a hole.
Yeah, and then you're down Tommy Doyle, you're starting right tackle. Skibbs came in and did a tremendous job. Then in pregame, LaRubio's sick and LaRubio can't go. We find that out during warm-ups. I mean, he's dressed to get ready, but he just can't go. And you got 2 seniors with Palmer and Mullen stepping in and do a tremendous job at right guard. So you're missing 2/5 of your offensive line, and one of them you find out in pregame is not going to be able to go. And they really stepped up and did a nice job. And like you said, not only in the run game, but also in the protection. When we wanted to throw the ball, we had plenty of time to throw the ball even on 3rd down.
Do you want to talk about Zoe Smith because he had 164 yards, a new career high for him?
Yeah, great day start to finish. And we know how good a player Alonzo is. He's been a great player his whole career here. And he just, he told me Friday night, he's like, hey, I'm back to 100%. I'm ready to go. And we talked all week like, hey, we don't have all the bullets in our gun that we normally do, so the bullets we have got to play big, and obviously he did that for us.
He did indeed. Let's take a look at highlights for the second half, and your defense steps up early as you get to Jared Dagey as Junior McMullen.
Yeah, great job by Junior, great job by Koenig. We bring some pressure here. Junior gets one-on-one on their left tackle, and you'll see from the end zone cop, it kind of dominates. He pushes him right back, comes off, and sacks the quarterback in a hurry. Key stop, it's 24-3. We've just scored 14 straight points. You get a stop and score, you can really step on their throat, and we go right back to run the football, and Zoe goes right back to being a hard guy to tackle on Saturday. So good hold, but Zoe does the rest and runs through a couple arm tackles. We always talk about great vision, great feel, great north and south, great balance, and it's all on display on that run.
Another key 3rd down here as Gus finds Luke Mayock.
Yeah, third key 3rd down on scoring drives. Beautifully placed go ball. Nice route by Mayock. Made it look very easy right there.
And you go right back on a 3rd down play once again to Jack Sorensen for the score.
Same thing. Back-to-back go balls that look more like what we're used to. Receivers running, getting on edge. Gus with a good ball placement, and now all of a sudden you've taken a 10-3 game, and in 3 possessions we're 31-3.
31-3, and still in the 3rd quarter in your defense, as you take a look at one more shot here of Sorensen, really does a nice job the rest of the way. Miles Reed, as we will see, getting to the quarterback here.
Yeah, continue to bring pressure. 3rd and 9 here. Much different when you're playing from ahead than from behind. You can tee off a little bit, and we did a good job in the second half. You see Barati coming on the brisk. You see Cam Turner. You see Miles Reed. You see some young guys that are playing some good football and rushing the passer.
Here's Barati on the sack this time and really showing his motor, getting out there and getting Daggy.
Yeah. Brady, tremendous player for us. We use in all sorts of different situations on defense and on special teams. Very versatile, can do a bunch of jobs. Plays linebacker in our nickel package. And right now, good job reading, coming out of coverage, attacking the quarterback, and making a great tackle in space.
Next Bowling Green drive, much the same thing for Daggy. This time it's Andrew Sharp.
Yeah, good job getting around the edge. Beats the tackle pretty clean. Again, setting up long yardage situations. Our defense had a lot of fun in the third quarter.
They did indeed. And here we'll see Andrew Clare, their big running back. They try to get it to him in space, but your defensive pursuit was just there all day long, and he loses 6.
Yeah, a lot of white jerseys, a lot of guys attacking, a lot of guys playing smart, reading their keys, being in position. And we did a tremendous job against a really, really good football player.
You get the ball back late after a couple of BG scores, and you put your first team back in, and Alonzo Smith just continues to do what he's done all day long.
Yeah, there's 10 minutes to go, and we put our subs in. We're up 31-3, and you're doing it, one, we're already 8 starters down, so you're trying to protect the troops. 2, you're also doing it because you got backups that got to play, and they deserve to play, and they want to play, and we put them out there. And obviously, Bowling Green left their starters in. It didn't work out very good. We had to put our starters back in. Our starters kind of picked up right where they left off, and it was nice to see Zoe get a touchdown in the end. He had such a huge day.
Yeah, absolutely. Great day for the Miami offense, as the final was 38-23. The Falcons would score a touchdown on the last play of the game, and this is Davion Johnson up the middle for the final Miami score. And just a great job overall by your team, Coach, as we get one more look at it there. But you take a look at the play of the RedHawks, and you going into the game, and I thought it was an interesting question in the press conference today. The opponent has struggled in giving up yardage, but it's one thing to know it. It's the other thing to take advantage of it and have your guys ready to go to be able to do that.
Yeah, very similar team that we played a year ago. They had struggled on defense a year ago. They had been prolific on offense. We lose a high-scoring shootout a year ago. We moved the ball tremendously. We had over 600 yards against them a year ago, so we had some confidence we could move the ball. But last year we had key turnovers. This year we had all the yardage. We didn't have the key turnovers. We scored a ton of points. Obviously, night and day from a year ago defensively. We defended them ridiculously well on Saturday against a potent offense.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. We'll also preview Saturday's game against Western Michigan next here on RedHawk Football Weekly. This segment of RedHawk Football Weekly has been brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott Hamilton, conveniently located just miles from Miami University.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.
On a forbidden Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
Ramon, we can't.
But Julia.
We're rivals.
I can love you and still hate your overrated school.
We have two different defensive philosophies. You're a base 4-3 cover 2, and I'm an
aggressive 3-4 with press coverage. I get it, but we both love Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Ramon.
Touchdown, State!
Yes! Into your face!
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Welcome back into RedHawk Football Weekly. Miami is at home this Saturday, family weekend against the Broncos of Western Michigan. We'll talk about that game in just a moment as head coach Chuck Martin joins me. But I did want to focus on the defense Saturday from Bowling Green. We were talking about, how the defense for the Falcons gives up the yards. Your defense has been, over the last 3 games, just getting better and better and better. And against a team that can wing it around the yard and has a great running back like Andrew Clare, they had no options most of the day.
Yeah, obviously, a year ago they averaged over 9 yards per play for the entire game and scored 35 points on with a very similar personnel that they had the year before. Miller had been out, their big weapon. He was healthy for us. I was hoping he was going to be out one more week. I saw him in pregame. I'm like, he's made big play after big play, not only against us, throughout this whole league. Tremendous football player, one of the fastest guy, runs track in the league. Did a really good job of disguising coverages, did a really good job of confusing their quarterback, and then did a really good job of getting after him, putting pressure on him. And then we did a tremendous job in the run game. They ran the ball. It didn't matter if it was 3rd and 50 last year. They could run the ball and get a first down on us. It didn't matter the situation. And we couldn't tackle them. The running backs a year ago ran through so many tackles and made us miss, and we really tackled well, even though we probably still missed too many tackles. Our pursuit was really good. So I just thought our kids played really hard. We lose DeAndre Daniels, the 3rd play of the game. Alan Koikoi came in and stepped up. I thought Junior and Koenig were tremendous. I thought Costin was tremendous again. And I thought the back-end guys did a good job of mixing up coverages and keeping their quarterback and not giving him the look pre-snap that he thought he was getting and confused him a little bit and allowed our rush to get home.
Well, it's good to see that improvement, no doubt, as you take on a team this Saturday that their offense is, you take a look at the stats, just daunting when you take a look at it on paper.
Yeah, they're number 1 in the league in offense and in yardage, and they're a tremendous rushing football team. They've got two lights out tailbacks that everyone knows about. They got another freshman tailback that's been playing that's really good. That comes in, and he's a good player too. But they get tons of chunk runs, and I don't mean chunk runs of over 15. I mean home runs. They almost week in, week out, they're breaking a run for 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. That's been going on for years. That's one of the reasons they've been so good the last few years in our league. So they really did a good job rushing football. Then they do a great job throwing overhead. Their chunk player, their big play tape is as long as I've ever seen. We watched 48 explosive plays last night. So piling up yards, piling up points. They've had a kind of a tale of 2 seasons, which they've played two Power 5 teams that were pretty good, and they gave up a bunch of points in those games. But then they played a non-Power 5 team and a 1AA team that weren't near as talented, and they didn't give up anything. Right. So it's kind of hard to gauge. But they're solid on defense. They got good personnel. They play hard. So it'll be a great challenge for us.
Coming back home, obviously, with a win under your belt has to be big, but it's also family weekend. Everybody's parents in town. Should be a great crowd on Saturday, and I know the guys are looking forward to that energy back at their home stadium.
Yeah, it's good to be back home. I know the Cincinnati game was technically a home game, but it was at Paul Brown. So we haven't been home in 3 weeks. So we haven't been home since Marshall. So it's interesting start to the season that you're one at home, then you're three trips in a row. So we're obviously excited to be back home. Excited to be back home in front of our home crowd.
Coach, good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
3:30 is kickoff time at Yeager Stadium on Saturday against the Broncos. Myself, Terry Bridge, and Randy Hollowell will have it for you beginning at 2:30. Make sure you tune in on the Miami IMG Sports Network. That'll do it this week for our crew in Oxford. Thanks for watching RedHawk Football Weekly.
This has been RedHawk Football Weekly, brought to you by G&J Pepsi-Cola of Hamilton, refreshing Southwestern Ohio since 1939. By Koenig Equipment, found online at KoenigEquipment.com. By Marathon, fueling the American spirit. By Bud Light, reminding you to enjoy responsibly among friends. RedHawk Football Weekly is a sports production of Miami University and IMG College.
Pizza With Pepsi. Delicious.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Mercy Health. Healthcare for the universe of you.